Hey guys, it's Mo from SVS Tower Art Center. Hope you guys are doing good. Today we're going to do a quick video tutorial. I'm going to teach you guys how to paint a mountain landscape with a lake and some trees. So before we get started, we want to make sure that our hands are nice and clean, so I'm going to sanitize. That's hardly any. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to sanitize and make sure my hands are nice and clean. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to point out all of our tools, supplies, and materials that we're going to need. First and foremost, I have a table that I can get dirty and I can clean up easily. I have this piece of cardboard, so all of my stuff stays here and nice and neat. I have a cup that I can use, that I can easily wash. Underneath the cup, I have a towel. You guys will have this exact same brush. We're going to send them to you. You can use any pencil. You can use any size watercolor sheet. Doesn't matter if it's a triangle, rectangle, whatever. And then we have our palette. You guys are gonna have a palette as well. We're gonna start by taping I don't even remember what it's called. We're gonna start by taping the canvas, the watercolor paper, to our cardboard. If you don't have this type of tape, that's fine, you don't have to do this, but it leaves a really neat effect at the end. It creates a really nice border when you take it off. Just make sure you don't press too hard, because otherwise you'll rip the paper. Alright, cool. So we're going to start by drawing the horizon, which is where the land meets the sky. I'm going to do one simple line like that. Next, I'm going to do a mountain range. So I'm going to draw some lines. Now remember, this is your watercolor, so you can make it however you want. This is your scene. I'm going to do some hills right here. I'm going to add another hill coming up right here. It does not have to be perfect. These hills can be any shape that you want. I'm going to do one last hill coming in just like that. Now right here, I'm going to do a couple lines. And these lines are going to represent trees. We're going to go in and watercolor them. The last step that I'm going to do is I'm going to add just some random shapes up in the sky. And these shapes are going to help me make my clouds. So now that we have that, I'm going to start by wetting our brush, dabbing it just a little bit. I'm going to take this blue, I'm going to lay it out just like that. Wash my brush. I need to make sure my brush is incredibly clean because I'm going to get a little bit of white. I'm going to mix it with that blue. I want to make sure that my brush has some nice wet water on it. And I'm going to start filling in these shapes. And notice how fast and scratchy I'm moving. Just remember that your piece does not have to be perfect. Your lines don't have to be perfect. They can be random squiggles, and that's totally fine. I'm going to take a little bit of the darker blue. I'm going to mix it in areas like here and here. Take a little bit of blue, really dark blue, put it in little spots. Cool. So now I'm going to lightly feather all of this. Create some nice random shapes. Now if you notice this white area, that's your clouds. So we want to make sure we leave some white. You don't want to color all of it. But you see this nice little cloud right here, this big cloud right there. Give your clouds whatever shape you want to give them. Perfect. Next, we're going to mix the color for the mountain. This mountain is going to be a little purpley. Add a little bit more blue to the mix, and just a hint of red. Now, if you already have purple, you can use that, or you can mix your own purple, so you can practice mixing colors. I'm going to add a little bit of brown And that's gonna make this purple a lot less intense. It's gonna mute it. It's gonna make the purple very soft. And I want the color a little bit more on the blue side. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of blue. And now I'm gonna make sure that my brush has lots of water in it. And I hardly want any color. I want it like ghost color. How you can hardly see it, how it's see-through. And I'm going to go in and paint my mountain. Just like that. Perfect. Now remember, it could be any shape that you want. So next, we are going to go in and paint our hills. So I'm going to take some of this green here, mix it with some brown, because the first hill is going to be far away. So we want it to be a little bit more darker. The closer it is, the greener it's going to be. The farther it is, the less green. So once again, I want to make sure my brush, I want to create that ghost color just like that. And I'm going to draw my first hill just like that. Almost looks like a slice of pizza. Remember, we're just making random shapes with colors. I'm gonna add a little bit more green to this mix because this next hill is closer. And just like that, a little bit more water to the mix. Just like that. I create these hills right here. Add just a touch more green to the mix. And these hills are a little closer. And finally, I'm going to add just a touch of yellow. Some good old-fashioned yellow. And that's going to paint the bottom of the hill. Because this is the closest part, this is the farthest part. So now that I have that done, I am going to paint the trees. So to paint the trees, we're going to take a little bit of blue, we're going to take a little bit of brown, and we're going to create this kind of like dark muddy color. And we're going to add these broken, choppy lines. And this is going to be the trunk of the tree. We're going to give the tree some shadows. Just like that. Perfect. So with the same muddy color, I'm going to add a touch of green. Give us a real muddy green. And add just a little bit of blue. A little bit more blue. We're gonna make the leaves. Let's test this color out. A little too green. So I'm gonna add a little bit of brown. Let's test it out. Getting there. A little bit more brown. And just a touch more blue. Cool. So now we're gonna make like this little moon shape. Actually, I do need more green. Make this little moon shape. And we're gonna start small on top. And as we get closer to the trunk of the tree, we're gonna make them bigger. Just like that. Cool, now we have this neat little family of trees that lives right there. Speaking of which, I would like to add some trees here in the background. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this blue, mix this green, give us this really neat color, add that brown, so we mute it, and then There we go, add this little family of trees in the background. We're gonna clump some of them together. You know, that could be a little bit more down. Gonna clump these together. And they live back here, by the mountain. I'm gonna take some of this color, I'm gonna make it a little darker, and I'm gonna add just bits of it towards the edge of the lake. Which, speaking of which, I forgot to show you guys how to paint the lake. So we're gonna do that right now. Okay, the lake is like a mirror. It's just gonna reflect the mountain. So we're gonna get that mountain color going again. And just like that, we're gonna paint it into the lake, just like a mirror. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take just a little bit of this blue, just a touch of that white, and we're gonna just paint little spots of the lake, just so it could show the clouds in the water. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna give these trees that I just made a little bit of reflection into the lake. And to finish it all off, we're gonna add some foliage, some bushes, and we're gonna do that by taking our green. We're gonna mix some of that brown with it. Just a touch of blue. And we're gonna add, I think this one's gonna have a little bit of yellow in it. We're gonna add just these splotches. You can even beat up your brush a little bit. Right? You press it nice and hard, and the end of it gets all broken up. You just add these splotches here and there. You can even mix a little bit more yellow. Have fun with it. Make it however you want. Mix a little bit of yellow here and there. And there's your foliage. That's pretty much it, guys. This is how you do a quick watercolor landscape. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had fun with it. But before we go, we're gonna do the big reveal. I'm gonna move my stuff off to the side. And we're gonna peel off this tape. And as you see, if you peel it off nice and slowly, you have this really nice border that comes with it. And this is why you don't want to press too hard, because otherwise it's going to rip the watercolor paper. And if it does, that's fine. Cool. And there you have it, your very own watercolor. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye.